So you flirted with being on air, I think, on radio, but you felt your talents were suited to other areas. And I think that self-awareness is really important in anybody's journey, because I think you have to realize what your strengths are, what you're good at, and not try and be a rock star or a baseball player. I mean, what do you think about that, Judy? This whole idea of self-awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I don't think I had much self-awareness though in the early days. I really wanted to be on the air because it was so fun. I played music and people would phone up to request songs and I would talk to them. The problem was the job was really hard for me. I loved it and it was fun and it was a great environment, but it never connected. And so even though I had people helping me, trying to help me to get better at it, every meeting I had where they were coaching me and they were trying so hard and I just couldn't get it. It never clicked. And I would go back in there again and I would try again. And then the next day, my manager would give me more coaching tips. Okay, I'm going to go. And then I just, something doesn't click. And then on the other hand, people kept throwing these projects at me that I didn't necessarily want to do, but they would say, oh, we want to develop this new countdown show. Can you go away and think about, go away and come up with a plan for how we would do it? So I would go away and I'd put this thing together and it would be very easy. I wouldn't, I'd spend a little bit of time on it. I'd bring it back to them, way in advance of their deadline and sort of like, here you go. And they would say, wow, this is good. And how'd you do it so quickly? And I would say, I don't know. Is it good? Whatever. Okay, I got to go back on the air. And so it was interesting. I didn't realize it at the time, Harsha. I mean, I had someone that had to sort of push me into it, but I didn't have the knack for being on the air. And now when I look back, I understand why. But at the time, it didn't make sense to me that this thing I really wanted to do, I wasn't very good at. And this other thing that I wasn't even interested in was easy. And so there's that, there's that moment where you realize that, really to have a successful career, it's not just about what you're passionate about. If you can marry sort of your interests with your skill and solve a problem for someone, that's where you become valuable. And that's when your career really starts to take shape. So as it turned out, being on the air, I wasn't good at. But what I ended up, I guess having a skill at was working with other people and then helping them be good on the air. And that became very rewarding to me.
And I think that's such a great point, because I think people sometimes are very fixated about there's only one definition of success or only one goal that they have to hit. And they forget about all these other things that suddenly come up. Like with podcasting, it wasn't a dream of mine to be a podcaster, but suddenly this opportunity came up and I did a few episodes. And you know how at the beginning you listen and you think, my God, this is okay, but it's not that great. But the more you do, hopefully you become better. And then you learn to connect with people. And I think it's very much about developing relationships on air and trying to create some sort of chemistry, keep it lighthearted. But I think the more you do, you can get better. And I think it's just about being aware of, if it does come relatively easily to you, like you said yourself with these other projects, then actually, it's worthwhile putting some time in and exploring and thinking, oh yeah, is this something that I can turn into a career? So I think that's a great point.
I think also having people around you that aren't afraid to give you honest feedback and constructive feedback, and being willing to take it. And so, I had a lot of people giving me feedback about, geez, we're not really sure this is, this on-air thing is the way you should go. And I trusted them. And then they gave me these other opportunities. And so sometimes it takes a bit of a leap of faith in making sure you have the right people around you to really help you understand what you are good at.